It was New Year's Eve. The room was alive with laughter, clinking glasses, and the soft hum of holiday music. Every corner sparkled with decorations, lights twinkling like distant stars. I should have felt joy, surrounded by family and warmth. But then my phone vibrated in my hand, and all the celebration faded into a cold silence. A message. From her. My sister. Missing for 10 long years. My heart raced, my breath caught. Could this really be real? Or was it some cruel trick of fate? I stared at the glowing screen, my fingers trembling. The words were simple, innocent almost, but the meaning shattered me. Happy New Year, brother. Are you awake? Those words shouldn't exist. She had vanished a decade ago, and yet here she was, or at least something speaking through her name. I tried to calm myself, telling my brain it was impossible, a prank, a mistake. But the chill crawling down my spine told me otherwise. I felt drawn, compelled, like some invisible force was pulling me closer to the truth, or to something far darker. I left the table, moving silently through the house, feeling like I was walking in a dream. My hands gripped the phone so tightly it ached. Every shadow in the hallway seemed alive, flickering and shifting with the glow of the lights. I had to see her. I had to know. My pulse pounded in my ears as I approached the bathroom, the familiar tiles suddenly cold and alien under my feet. I whispered to myself, trying to ground my thoughts, but the air felt thick, almost sentient, watching, waiting. And then I saw her. My reflection was not alone. Her face stared back at me from the mirror, eyes wide, familiar yet changed, carrying a weight of years I could not comprehend. She spoke through the glowing screen. "Have you forgotten me?" My mouth went dry. My mind screamed at me that it was impossible, but the longing in her eyes, the soft trembling of her lips made me hesitate. Fear twisted into a strange, desperate hope that she had somehow returned. But deep down I knew. Something was off. Something I couldn't yet name. My hands shook so violently I could barely hold the phone. The reflection in the mirror warped slightly, like the edges of reality bending under pressure. I tried to speak, but no words came out. Her eyes were pleading, searching for recognition, and for a moment I almost reached out, almost believed it was her. My chest ached with a mixture of longing and terror. I could feel something watching from the corners of the room, a presence whispering just out of reach. Every instinct in me screamed to run, yet my body remained frozen, caught between disbelief and fascination. I returned to the table, trying to blend in, to act normal. My family laughed, passed dishes, toasted, but everything seemed muted, distant, as if I were watching through a thick veil. The sound of their voices was hollow, echoing unnaturally in my ears. My mind couldn't escape the image in the mirror, couldn't stop replaying those eyes, those words. Each smile from my family now felt like a mask, hiding something I was not yet ready to see. The room was festive, but I felt an unbearable weight pressing down on me, a silent warning I could not ignore. I couldn't stay there. Something inside me demanded I return to the bathroom, to face whatever it was waiting for. Each step felt heavier, each breath colder. The air was thick, carrying a faint, unfamiliar scent that made my stomach turn. My reflection in the darkened hallway flickered and pulsed, urging me forward. I knew I was no longer entirely in control of my own actions. A part of me wanted to flee, but another part, darker and desperate, drove me to confront it, to understand what had returned from the past. The mirror trembled, the surface rippling like water disturbed by an unseen hand. Her face twisted, shadows stretching and crawling across her skin, forming shapes that were not human. The warmth of her eyes was gone, replaced by a glimmer of something ancient, something alien. I could feel it pressing against my mind, whispering promises and threats I could not comprehend. The reflection smiled, and I realized with a chill that this was no longer her. Whatever it had taken her place, using her memory to lure me in. I ran from the bathroom, my legs moving faster than thought. The living room stretched unnaturally, shadows crawling along the walls. The laughter and cheer of moments ago vanished, replaced by silence thick and oppressive. My family was there, but not truly. Frozen, their faces blank, eyes staring through me, a reflection of something I could not name. My heart pounded, my lungs burned, and I understood. I had stepped into a world that was no longer my own. The phone vibrated once more, the glow illuminating the room in an eerie blue light. "Now you're with us," it said. I felt a cold weight settle into my chest, pressing down, making it hard to breathe. Reality seemed to twist around me, the walls bending and stretching, the familiar room becoming alien and threatening. I understood in that instant that I had been drawn into a space not meant for the living, a world shaped by something beyond comprehension, and then she was gone. The warmth, the life, everything familiar evaporated like mist. Shadows stretched long and cold, crawling along walls, pooling in corners. The air was thick and silent, heavy with anticipation. I could sense eyes watching, a presence shifting just beyond my vision, whispering secrets I dared not hear aloud. My mind reeled, knowing I had stepped through a threshold that could not be undone. A form emerged from the darkness, vast and unknowable, reaching with limbs that twisted and coiled unnaturally. Glowing, almost alive, it moved with intent, its presence pressing into my mind. I stumbled back, the room spinning, yet I could not look away. It was patient, teasing, as if testing my resolve. I realized that this was what had been using her image, pulling me deeper into a place where I no longer belonged. Step by step, I moved forward, my body trembling, my senses screaming that every step was a mistake. Shadows twisted around me, forming the vague shapes of my family. They were here, yet not here. The world was a reflection, a distorted echo of the home I knew. My mind struggled to separate memory from nightmare, light from shadow, hope from dread. Every instinct urged me to flee, but a deeper compulsion, dark and irresistible, kept me rooted in place. The table was set as it had been that night, the food untouched, candles flickering with cold light. My family sat, frozen in positions I knew, yet their faces were empty, hollow. The room pulsed with an unnatural rhythm, and I could feel whispers brushing the edges of my mind. I understood then. I was caught, trapped between worlds, a spectator in a scene I had no control over. My chest tightened, my pulse raced, but I could not look away. The phone glowed one last time, the message impossible to ignore. "Welcome to our world." It wasn't her speaking. It never was. I realized with a terror I could barely contain that I had been lured here, alone, and there was no turning back. The room, the shadows, the voices. They were mine now to endure, a prisoner in a world between life and whatever lies beyond.